Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Smackdown of the last part of the year. Main reason this is late is my reluctance to actually do it. Raw was not good. Not good at all. TNA wasn't that good at all. When I saw this Smackdown and my thoughts of it beforehand, I wasn't too fond of doing it. Honestly, I wasn't. This has been very difficult to do these reviews for the simple fact that the products that I have been seeing have been very bad. Oh, I have not been fond of this. But I do have a ray of hope for some of what was shown on this Smackdown. But it was difficult to bring myself to doing it. So, seeing Big Show in the beginning of the show having a chance against Sheamus turned me off. And it took me some time to actually look at the show again to make sure I knew what was going on. I just turned it off. But then finding out Santino Marella was going to be the one who was going to do it, at least I thought at first, really was actually surprised. I was going, okay, this might be at least a decent twist at the end of the year. Hopefully Santino Marella will have something good. It didn't happen. Santino pulls his nut muscle, his groin. That backstage with Sheamus was funny, and I know the pain of a groin muscle pull. I tend to have that much more than most people because of my injury. You may think, wait a minute, how can you have a groin muscle pull with a bad hip? You can. Believe that. It hurts. So that was a bit funny, but it really didn't go anywhere, I felt, until I saw what happened with Ricardo Rodriguez, and I thought, oh, there's no way he's going to be challenging. It has to be ADR. And I was right. At the end of the show, ADR challenges Big Show to a match. Now, the thing that ruined it for me at the end of the show was Sheamus gets the last part of the show. If you're going to try and grow ADR as a babyface, he needs to close the show as a babyface. At least once. They could have done it at least once this year. Let ADR close the show, but they let Sheamus close the show with the last thing you see is with ADR and Sheamus staying over the Big Show after he gives him a brogue kick. Didn't like it. ADR should have gotten the kick or a cross arm breaker or whatever was necessary for him to get over. He was the one that deserved it, not Sheamus. I know Sheamus is booked as the strongest and most dominant face they have next to Mr. Baby Oil himself. We haven't seen Mr. Baby Oil in a little bit, so essentially it's going to be Sheamus. But we really need ADR to get something. Didn't get it. Now, something I didn't mind too much of, which I kind of hope that they would work on more than they would work on John Cena, would be Miz and Dolph Ziggler. We really never seen a feud between them, and this would be interesting. But unfortunately, the way they're structuring it is going to be with John Cena. This is all going to revolve around John Cena, AJ, Dolph, and Biggie Langston. Biggie did something I was surprised to see between the Miz and Dolph match. He literally grabbed Dolph in midair and held him like he was nothing, like a little kid in his arms. I thought Dolph was about to kiss him at one point. I have to admit that was very interesting to see such a strong man like that in Biggie Langston. Hopefully they will do something with him. Do I believe it? No. But I'm hoping. Now, something that gave me a ray of hope, which I was saying earlier this year about the Uso brothers. The Usos deserve to have the straps. They've been around since 2009. They premiered in Raw in 2010. They've been around roughly 4 years, 4.5 years, nearing 5. They deserve to have the straps by now. They're still over with the crowd. They should get that shot. And now going up against the primetime players, millions of dollars, baby, they may get their shot. They won the damn match on the Smackdown. They don't usually win on Smackdowns. They usually win on NXT. I'm happy about this. I'm hoping that when Raw rolls around, probably tomorrow, because this is very late, we'll see something of the Usos. Maybe finally that they're getting over. Like I said before, when it came to Monday Night Raw, and when a Uso won the 12-man tag, I believe it was a 12-man tag. Yeah, I think it was. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting if it was a 10 or 12. I don't care. One of them won. This was great. So now seeing this, where both Usos win, I'm hoping they're going to give them a push where they will win the straps. They deserve it by now. I don't know whose ass they kiss. Maybe Tamina might have, I'm not trying to be nasty, but maybe Tamina, because they are kind of relatives of hers. Oh, let's hope she did something. Because if it's not her, it's got to be them that's kissing some ass. So that was good. Beef mode. Bad Maddox loses his match to Sheamus. Beef mode. Brad Maddox is no longer going to be featured on Smackdown. I know this sounds bad, but it actually could be quite good. We don't know what's going to happen on Raw now. Just like JBL said, he can still appear on Raw. No, it was not JBL. No, it was JBL and Josh Matthews. Can't pronounce the guy's name. But he was right. They both were right. He can still appear on Raw. And I wish to say the commentary was good tonight because JBL was on his game. Josh wasn't that great. But you know what? It's what we got. But seeing Brad made me feel good. I'm hoping that he will be more featured on Raw because it makes sense. He will get his contract on Raw. I doubt they're just going to leave it at this. If he's not seen for a couple of weeks, it would be understandable. But they must bring him back because they've been pushing him. That's if they do this. So, the six-man tag, Wade with Rhodes Scholars and Hell No with Kofi. Wade wins. Fine. Sad, but fine. They're still trying to push Wade as getting the IC Championship, which is a waste. Give this to somebody else. Please. Zack versus Antonio Fazzado. Empty. 2 U.S. champions that have gone nowhere. That's what we got. The thing that made me incredibly happy was Brodus Clay versus Primo. The match itself was meaningless. I don't give a F. I don't give a fuck about the match. Who gives a damn? The beginning of the match, you see Rosa Mendes dancing her ass off. But is she better than my Naomi? No. Yes, she's a good-looking woman. Yes, she's one hell of a good-looking woman. Yes, she can move those curves very well. But if she's stupid enough to get into the ring with Brodus Clay, and then Brodus says, ladies, and they kick her ass and then slam her, she gets what she deserves. But she still gets what I am kind of confused about calling the leg scissors of destruction, because it was Naomi and Cameron who gave her, and I'm talking about Rosa Mendes, the body slam and then the leg splits. I'm kind of split about this, about either calling it the splits of destruction or the splits of desire. I am hungry for that split, especially the way that my Naomi did them. Seeing that was 3 things. 1, it was good to see Brodus Clay, even though, as the Off the Rope show says, he's still being not booked properly. He's just winning, but for nothing because he has no storyline. But he's still being seen, so that's something for the moment. 2, you have the kids, and the kid who did the cartwheel in the back, where it was supposed to be Cameron who's supposed to be trying to dance with him. That was cool. I gotta admit it. Seeing kid do a cartwheel in the back was not bad. 3, seeing my babies dance, period, always makes me happy. So 3 things about that was not bad. I'm happy about seeing it. So the last thing here, if there was anything else, is there anything else? The ADR face turn with Ricardo Rodriguez. I can say this. Like I said before, when they started doing this face turn with ADR, having Ricardo as his conscience was the wise thing to do. Seeing Ricardo get knocked out by the Big Show, and I said this earlier, but I'm saying it like this. This is how they're going to get ADR over as a face. They must use Ricardo. I still do not agree with them not letting ADR close the show. That would have given him more for 2013. But it didn't happen. It didn't. So, how do I rate this show? C+. It was not good at all. But it did have a few things. Seeing the Usos win, very important to see the Usos win. Dolph and Miz was not too bad of a match, but it's not going to go anywhere. Shame. Beef Mode. Not going to be featured on Smackdown anymore. It will be featured on Raw. Well, at least I hope. That's a good thing. Seeing that they're using Ricardo to try and get ADR over as a face is the wise thing to do. You need to use Ricardo Rodriguez to do it. My Brodus Clay match with my Naomi doing the, hell, I'm going to say it, the splits of desire on Rosa Mendez. Oh, how I wish I had been there that day. But that is what we're dealing with. So I hope you enjoyed this Zane's view of SmackDown, December 28, 2012. Hopefully we'll have something better in 2013. This is 2 days late, but I had a problem I had to attend to. And as I said earlier in this review, I was really wasn't sure if I really wanted to do this because it sucked. But I still did it because I do love still doing these wrestling reviews. I'm hoping they'll do something better, and these small little things they did in the show, these tiny little things, hopefully will continue having me watch. So have a good night, and soon have a good new year.